Dodgers Nation? Stop everything you're doing right now, because the Los Angeles Dodgers just shook the entire baseball world again. I'm not kidding. We're talking about two massive signings, two legit game-changing additions that could be the exact final pieces this team needs to complete the three-peat. Yes, you heard me. The dynasty run might be about to hit a whole new level. And listen, if you're as hyped as I am right now, do me a huge favor, smash that like button and hit subscribe so we can finally reach our big goal of 12,000 subscribers. You guys have been amazing, and I promise, today's news is going to blow your mind, because these two players, the moment their names dropped, everything changed for the Dodgers 2026 season. Stick with me, you're going to want to hear every detail of this.
All right, so we got some news to get into, some other stories we'll touch on. We'll get to the rumors in a little bit. First thing I wanted to touch on, though, was if you look at the Dodgers transaction page, it says the Los Angeles Dodgers signed free agent left-handed pitcher Antoine Kelly to a minor league contract. So this is not the type of signing that makes you went out and go buy a jersey and go crazy on social media and do cartwheels down 1000 Vince Scully Avenue. But a transaction is a transaction. And Kelly, 25, pitched last season for AAA Colorado Rocky. He was a Colorado Rocky, their AAA organization, the PCL for Albuquerque, posted a 5.63 ERA. And this is not one of those moves that you're going to go crazy about, but it's a depth piece. We'll see if he surfaces in any way. I always like to mention these guys during the offseason, because when you hear them in the regular season, you're not completely shocked by it. Now, another move the Dodgers made yesterday was adding pitcher Ronan Cop to their 40-man roster. And this was to lead up to the Rule 5 protection deadline, which was Tuesday. They had two openings on the 40-man roster, so they didn't need to make a corresponding move. And for Ronan Cop, he's always had a ton of potential. There's good Cop, there's bad Cop, right? There's the Ronan Cop that really dominates hitters, a 36% strikeout rate. That's the good Cop. The bad Cop is the 17% walk rate. Last season, he posted a 3.43 ERA across 57 and 2/3 innings for AAA Oklahoma City. He's 23 years old. He's got plus stuff. He can really dominate hitters with strikeouts. He's a left-handed pitcher, and both sides really struggled against him to get hits, but he also gave a 350 on base percentage because a lot of hitters at the plate, they're just waiting to draw that walk. But that is the move they made, and I think it really says a lot about how the Dodgers view pitching depth, right? You're not ruining baseball by working on the margins like they have, and you look at the depth of this team, you got Alex Vesia and Tanner Scott, Justin Robleski, Jack Dreyer, Anthony Bonda. Those are other left-handed relievers on the 40-man roster. Cop is really interesting, though. Cop is very interesting because, like I said, if you just get good Cop and not bad Cop, he's someone that could potentially help this team in a lot of different ways if you suffer an injury or you're just looking for some upside. But Dave Anderson, who's the pitching coach for AAA Oklahoma City, he was on my man Casey Porter's show, Dodgers Daily, and he broke down the improvements of Ronan Cop for last season.
Is a true plus slider versus both left and right. And, you know, some of the things that he's bought into and we feel really confident that he understands now is the angle he creates out of hand. It's kind of the opposite of the Sammy Carlson effect, the low slot, the low vertical approach angle. He's leveraging the opposite. So, you know, you've got about a 6'5" release height, and it looks like it's coming from the clouds. So we essentially scrap the thoughts of killing vert with the slider and lean into powering it downhill, because the angle out of hand is going to take care of the visual of depth for the hitter, which allows him to throttle that thing in that 91, 93 range. It actually cracks me up because a lot of the boards we play at, and OKC's does it. It tags fastball sometimes. He's gotten to the point now that he can feel when he gets too far around the ball, which is when you're going to see more side spin come in. So there's going to be a little bit more depth, a little bit more sweep. And it's still a nasty pitch, but it doesn't look like it has the teeth, the visual, the power behind it. And he's started to really hone in. The other piece that helps him with is it eliminates the glove side pull and the arm side miss, because all he's thinking about is down angle. So it's like you're either downhill to the knees in zone or you're strike to ball below. And that allows him to play the north-south game with the fastball really well. He actually flashed a couple sub 1-4. We're not going to call it a slide step.
Nice.
It's a modified pickup. So it's essentially like a knee to knee. If he had a bar across the top of his knees, that's the height that the other one can go to. Once you hit that, it's go. A lot of the issue with that, not issue, but what we were working through with that was figuring out how much counter to preset so that he's already in the positions he needs to get to, that he gets in his load with the big leg kick where he has time to flip the pelvis, counter in. He's able to do that from the preset position. So now it's just up and go. And now all of a sudden, too, it eliminates any thought of the delivery. It's just up, down, forward. Simple.
I love that stuff right there. I'm a nerd for that kind of stuff because it exemplifies how great the Dodgers organization is at the minor league level and the coaching they get. And what he's trying to say there is that we're trying to simplify the game for Cop so we can go out there and just focus on getting hitters out and being his best self. And look, that has always been the issue with minor league pitchers and pitchers that don't make it at the big league level is you have to be able to throw strikes. I always say if you want to be the man, you have to have the command. And the same issues that have plagued him are the same ones with Antoine Kelly. And just a little more on Antoine Kelly, we talked about just a couple minutes ago, this is a guy who was in the Futures game a couple years ago. And he pitched in the Futures game in 2022. He had a really good season in 2023 with the Rangers and their AA and AAA bullpens. Had a 2.04 ERA in 57 1/3 innings, a 32.1% strikeout rate, then a 9.3% walk rate. The trajectory was there. He just missed time with a forearm injury that really kind of derailed things. So we'll see. There's some interesting stuff there. I mean, he's had some high highs, he's had some low lows. And the Rockies, they outrighted him late in the season in August when he really was starting to struggle because the Rockies claimed him off of waivers from the Rangers back in July. And he was a former second-round pick, went from Milwaukee to Texas in the Matt Bush trade in 2022, had that really good year in 2023, and then you saw the performance start to suffer. He missed time with that forearm injury. The control was bad. He had a 10.98 ERA in 19 2/3 innings between AA and AAA, and the strikeout rate went down. Also a 25.4% walk rate. So that when he was at his worst, the walk rate was higher than the strikeout rate, a 23.7% strikeout rate. And he also hit a bunch of hitters too. So interesting project to get into. And that's kind of where the Dodgers are at, is trying to improve this roster any way they can at this part of the season. I see some really interesting comments about Jarren Duran. Could be an interesting trade target. We'll talk about him. See some stuff about Kyle Tucker, Murakami. Don't worry. We'll get to the trade stuff, the free agent stuff in a couple minutes here. We got some housekeeping to do. And another thing that we'll talk about as well is just the need for the Dodgers to revamp this bullpen this offseason. That is 100% something they need to do, a priority that they have. And that's evidenced by the fact that they have been linked to Edwin Diaz and Devin Williams. And I'm sure that they're going to consider signing some one-year guys, finding the Ryan Brazier types, maybe the Chris Martin types. Chris Martin is a guy who you could sign too and bring him back to LA. So you got to bring in guys that you feel like you're going to get on their best years. And from the bullpen, you just never know. It's a volatile position, lots of one-hit wonders. So get guys you can trust, but also spend money on some big ticket items as well. And just going back to Tyler Goff, who the Dodgers just traded for a couple of days ago. the Dodgers acquired minor league right-handed pitcher Tyler Goff from the Seattle Mariners in exchange for right-handed pitcher Robinson Ortiz. Now, Goff went 7-4 with a 4.33 ERA and 23 starts for the low-A Modesto Nuts. That's their name, the Modesto Nuts. It's kind of like the Ohio State Buckeyes. They're nuts. The low-A Modesto Nuts. In 2024, he didn't pitch last year because of the injury, the Tommy John, but across 2 seasons with the Nuts, he posted a 4.66 ERA, had 123 strikeouts and 125 and a thirds innings. He's 6'2". He was selected by the Mariners in the 9th round of the 2022 MLB draft. He is a Jay Serra kid from San Juan Capistrano. And I caught up with him yesterday.
And now I want to hear from you, Dodgers fans. What do you think about these 2 massive signings? Are these the moves that push the Dodgers straight into three-peat territory? Are these the exact pieces we needed? Or do you still want to see more upgrades this offseason? Jump into the comments and let me know your full thoughts. I read every single one. And before you go, don't forget to drop a like and hit that subscribe button to help us reach our big goal of 12,000 subscribers. Your support means everything. And trust me, we've got a lot more Dodgers news coming. See you in the next one. Let's go Dodgers!